Fairy Queen Maleficent, whose wings bore a unique blend of black and golden hues. She possessed a rare power, control over shadows, while her abilities made her a figure of fear. She was a devoted protector of her kingdom and her people. One day, a war broke out between humans and fairies. The humans, greedy for magical resources, invaded the forest armed with weapons of iron. In her quest for peace, Maleficent decided to approach the humans for negotiations. However, they betrayed her, capturing her and binding her in iron chains, poisonous to her magic. For months, Maleficent remained imprisoned. Her heart, once filled with love and compassion, gradually turned to anger and resentment. When she finally escaped, the golden shimmer of her wings had dulled, and her powers were now steeped in dark magic. Returning to her kingdom, she found it in ruins. The humans had ravaged the forest, leaving her people scattered and broken, overwhelmed with grief and fury. Maleficent cast a powerful curse over all of their relief, plunging the realm into eternal darkness. Crops withered, rivers dried up, and shadows whispered her name everywhere. In the face of this despair, a brave human girl named Eleonora stepped forward. She was a healer gifted with the rare magic of light. Eleonora saw Maleficent not as a monster, but as a wounded soul, determined to uncover the truth and restore balance between the two worlds. She ventured into the shadowed forest. Eleonora approached Maleficent not with weapons, but with empathy. She spoke of the pain and losses both sides had endured and revealed a startling truth. It was not humans, but members of Maleficent's own court who had betrayed her, driven by greed for power. Hearing this, Maleficent's rage began to wane. She made a pact with Eleonora. She would aid in restoring peace between the worlds, but only if Eleonora proved her courage and loyalty. Together, they embarked on a journey to heal the corruption of the forest, confront the traitors, and undo the curse. Along the way, Maleficent rediscovered hope and forgiveness, while Eleonora learned to harness her light magic to heal wounds and mend broken hearts. At last, Maleficent lifted the curse, and sunlight returned to Erilith. Though peace was restored, Maleficent chose to remain in the shadowed forest, serving as its silent guardian. Eleonora, forever changed by the journey, became a bridge between humans and fairies, fostering trust and unity. Thus, the tale of Maleficent, the guardian of shadows, was born, a story of pain, forgiveness, and the healing power of compassion.
Land where light and darkness existed in perfect balance. The shadowed forest was the heart of the mysterious and unseen few dared to enter, for it was said the forest was guarded by Maleficent, the keeper of shadows. She was a powerful sorceress with horns like a crown and wings as vast as the night sky. Her presence was both feared and misunderstood.
Centuries ago, Maleficent had been a protector of harmony, ensuring that the shadows remained gentle and the light did not scorch the earth. But humans, hungry for power, invaded the Shadowwood, seeking to harness its magic. They tore down ancient trees and imprisoned creatures of the dark, tipping the balance. Maleficent, outraged by their greed, unleashed her fury. With a wave of her staff, she cloaked the land in eternal twilight, swearing never to let the light fully dominate again. To the villagers, she became a villain, but to the creatures of the forest, she was their savior. Years later, a young girl named Alara, born with a streak of silver in her hair, ventured into Shadowwood. She had heard tales of the Keeper of Shadows, but believed Maleficent was the only one who could save her people from a new threat, the Sunborn King. The king had discovered a way to harness the sun's magic, burning forests and draining rivers to fuel his golden empire. Alara carried an enchanted mirror given by her grandmother. A relic said to reflect the truth. She hoped it could convince Maleficent to aid her. Alara found Maleficent deep within the forest, seated on a throne of roots and shadow. The sorceress was every bit as magnificent and intimidating as the stories claimed. Why have you come here, child? Maleficent's voice was cold, but laced with curiosity. Alara held up the mirror. Because your darkness is the only thing that can stop the Sunborn King. He will destroy us all, including the forest. Maleficent laughed bitterly.
And why should I care for those who once sought to destroy my home?
Alara's courage did not falter. Because even shadows need a place to exist. Without balance, there will be nothing left. The mirror began to glow, reflecting Maleficent's true heart, a protector, not a destroyer. Moved by the girl's bravery and truth, Maleficent agreed to help, though she mourned the cost of balance is great. Are you prepared to pay it? Together, Maleficent and Alara confronted the Sunborn King. Maleficent summoned swords and shadows, while Alara used the mirror to weaken the king's blinding light. But the king's power was immense, and the battle seemed hopeless until Alara made a desperate choice. She shattered the mirror, releasing its magic. The light and shadow collided in a blinding explosion, restoring balance to the land but costing Alara her life.
Maleficent mourned the brave girl who had reminded her of her purpose. To honor Alara, she planted a silver tree at the heart of Shadowwood, its leaves glowing with an eternal shimmer.
Alara found Maleficent deep within the forest, seated on a throne of roses, seated on a throne of ways to harness the sun's magic. Burning the fuel of Shadowwood, she would really set to reflect the truth. She only one shimmer of twilight. The Sunborn King's empire crumbles, and the balance between light and darkness was restored. Maleficent, once feared as a villain, became a legend, a keeper not of shadows alone, but of harmony. And so the Shadowwood Forest remained a sanctuary. Its story was whispered by those who dared to believe in both the light and the dark. Until the Shadowed Forest remained a sanctuary, its story whispered by those who dared to believe in both the light and the dark. And so the Shadowwood Forest remained a sanctuary. Its story whispered by those who dared to believe in both the light and the dark. Though the light and the dark.
I just feel alive.
After restoring Tifidi's heart and bringing life back to the ocean, Moana returned to Motunui, where she resumed her role as chief, but the ocean had more plans for her. One moonlit night, as the waves shimmered with an eerie glow, the ocean called to Moana once again. It revealed the location of a hidden island, Vihinui, said to hold ancient relics that could either protect the seas or bring destruction if they fell into the wrong hands. Moana set out on her canoe with Pua and Heihei for company. And to her surprise, Maui appeared from the skies, his hook glowing. "The ocean told me you need help," he said with a grin. "What trouble are we in this time?" The journey to Vihinui was treacherous. They faced a massive sea storm conjured by sea spirits who guarded the island. Moana, using her bond with the ocean, calmed the storm, proving her worth to the spirits. When they reached Vihinui, they found a labyrinth filled with glowing carvings and puzzles. Each test required courage, wisdom, and trust between Moana and Maui. At the heart of the labyrinth, they discovered the relics, shimmering shells that contained the essence of the ocean's power. But they weren't alone. A cunning trickster named Rako, who had been following them, tried to steal the relics for himself. Moana and Maui worked together, combining her quick thinking and his shape-shifting abilities to outwit Rako. In the end, Moana entrusted the relics to the ocean. With her bond stronger than ever, Moana knew this was only the beginning of her adventures. As they sailed back to Motunui, Maui smiled and said, "You know you're not too bad for a mortal." Moana laughed, "And you're not too bad for a demigod." With their bond stronger than ever, Moana knew this was only the beginning of her adventures.
Get your Rose Kados.
CSU 1000 Plus. Give your best her rose.
इमरान का रखा हुआ ही आएगा बता
Long ago, in a realm divided between the majestic Moors and the human kingdom, there lived a powerful and enigmatic fairy named Maleficent. With her great black wings and horned crown, she was both feared and revered as the protector of the Moors. A mystical land filled with magical creatures and ancient secrets. Maleficent was once a creature of joy and light, with a radiant spirit that matched the beauty of the land she guarded. She spent her days flying through enchanted forests, befriending the Fae and guiding the balance of nature. Among the Moors' inhabitants, she was a beacon of strength and kindness. However, her peaceful life took a dark turn when Stefan, a human boy she once loved, betrayed her for power. Desiring the throne of the human kingdom, Stefan tricked Maleficent, severing her wings in an act of cruel ambition. Broken and embittered, Maleficent withdrew into the shadows of her realm, her heart hardened by the betrayal. Years later, Stefan, now king, and his queen welcomed a child. Princess Aurora, fueled by anger and a desire for retribution, Maleficent cursed the infant to fall into an eternal sleep on his 16th birthday. A curse that only true love's kiss could break. A concept she believed to be a cruel illusion. But as the years passed, Maleficent found herself drawn to Aurora, who grew with the Moors under the once-flies of fairies. The princess's innocent wonder and warmth began to thaw the icy walls around Maleficent's heart. She realized that Aurora was not to blame for her father's sins, and that her hatred only perpetuated the cycle of pain. In a climactic moment of redemption, Maleficent sought to undo the curse, but her power was not enough. However, her genuine love for Aurora, a love as pure as the bond between a guardian and child, manifested in an unexpected way. As Maleficent kissed Aurora on the forehead, the curse broke, proving that love transcends vengeance and bitterness. Aurora became queen, uniting the human kingdom, and the Moors in peace. Maleficent, restored to her true self, became the dark guardian of the Moors once more, a symbol of strength, forgiveness, and the power of love. And so Maleficent's tale was no longer one of hatred and revenge, but of healing and redemption. A story of how even the darkest heart can find the light again.
Once upon a time, in a forest where sunlight danced through emerald leaves, there was a small village surrounded by towering trees and sparkling streams. At the heart of the village lived a young girl named Lyra, who had the most extraordinary gift. Her voice, every time she sang, the flowers would bloom, the rivers would hum, and the stars would shine brighter. But Lyra was not like other villagers. She had been found as a baby in a cradle woven from golden vines. At the edge of the forest, the villagers adored her, but she often felt drawn to the woods, as though they were calling her home. One day while wandering through the forest, Lyra stumbled upon a mysterious harp carved from crystal, resting beneath an ancient oak tree. As she touched it, a soft melody filled the air, and a radiant fairy appeared, her wings shimmering like 1,000 rainbows. Lyra, the fairy said, "You are the keeper of the enchanted melody. Long ago the song of harmony was stolen from the world, leaving discord and sorrow. Only your voice can restore it, but beware, for the Shadow King seeks to silence you forever." Lyra's heart pounded, but she nodded. She would protect the song at all costs. The fairy handed her a silver locket, explaining, "This will guide you to the fragments of the lost melody. Unite them, and you will bring harmony back to the world." Thus began Lyra's journey. She traveled to the icy peaks of Mount Soleria, where she braved the blizzard to recover the first fragment hidden within a frozen waterfall. She ventured into the whispering caves, where her voice calmed the restless spirits guarding the second fragment. Finally, she entered the Shadow King's dark castle, where the final fragment lay in his clutches. The Shadow King, a towering figure cloaked in darkness, sneered at her. "You cannot defeat me, child. You're not my power." But Lyra stood tall, her silver locket glowing. She began to sing, her voice pure and strong. The melody she created filled the castle, shattering the shadows and revealing a beautiful chamber bathed in golden light. As the fragments united, a wave of warmth spread across the land, banishing darkness and filling every heart with joy. The Shadow King crumbled to dust, and the castle transformed into a magnificent sanctuary. The fairy reappeared, her eyes sparkling with gratitude. "You have restored harmony, Lyra. The world is forever in your debt." Lyra returned to her village, but she was no longer just a girl with the magical voice. She was a legend, a guardian of harmony, and her songs became the heart of the world at peace. And so Lyra's melody lived on, a timeless tune carried by the wind, reminding all who heard it that light and love could conquer even deepest shadows.
Once upon a time.
अच्छा
In a quiet forest, there lived a wise-old owl. The owl spent its days sitting high in a tree, watching everything that happened below. The animals in the forest often argued with one another and sought the owl's advice. One day, a rabbit and a squirrel came to the owl, arguing over who was faster. The rabbit claimed its long legs made it faster, while the squirrel insisted its agility gave it an edge.
The owl listened patiently and said, "Let's settle this with a race, run from here to the big oak tree and back. But remember, the goal is not just to prove who's faster, but to complete the race fairly and honestly." The rabbit, confident in its speed, raced off and quickly took the lead. The squirrel, though slower, didn't give up and kept running steadily. Along the way, the rabbit got distracted and stopped to eat some grass, thinking it had plenty of time. The squirrel focused on the race, passed the rabbit and reached the finish line first. The owl smiled and said, "It's not always about being the fastest or the strongest. Patience, persistence, and focus will take you further than overconfidence." Overconfidence. Overconfidence. Moral and the focus are more important than overconfidence in achieving success. Moana in the heart of the ocean. It was a calm morning on the island of Motunui, when Moana stood gazing at the horizon. Ever since she restored Te Fiti's heart and saved her people, life had returned to normal. But Moana couldn't shake the feeling that another adventure was calling. One evening, as Moana walked along the beach, she noticed a shimmering light beneath the waves. Curious, she waded into the water. To her amazement, the ocean placed a glowing blue gem in her hand. It pulsed with energy, unlike anything she had seen before. Grandma Tala would have called this a sign, Moana whispered. The next morning, Moana consulted the village elders. They told her the gem was the heart of the ocean, a sacred relic said to keep the seas in balance, but something had disturbed its power, causing strange storms and wild waves to spread across the islands. Moana knew what she had to do. With a trusty boat and her ever-playful rooster, Hi-Hey, she set sail to return the heart of the ocean to its rightful place, a hidden temple deep in the sea, guarded by an ancient, mysterious creature. Along the way, Moana reunited with Maui, the shape-shifting demigod who eagerly joined her quest. Together they faced challenges, whirlpools that tried to swallow them, trickster sea spirits, and a mighty sea serpent who guarded the temple. Using her courage and connection to the ocean, Moana managed to calm the sea serpent. With Maui's help, she placed the heart of the ocean in its pedestal, restoring harmony to the waters. While as the sea calmed, the creature bowed in gratitude, revealing itself to be a guardian spirit sent by Te Fiti. The ocean chose wisely, it said, before vanishing into the waves. Moana and Maui returned home as heroes once again. Before Moana, the journey wasn't just about saving the seas. It was about discovering that her bond with the ocean was stronger than ever. and that her destiny as a wayfinder would always guide her to where she was needed most. And so, the legend of Moana, the girl who saved the ocean twice, spread across the islands, inspiring generations to come.
डल स्किन की असली वजह डिहाइड्रेशन, इसीलिए मैं यूज करती हूँ बॉन्ड स्किन इंस्टीट्यूट की सुपर लाइट जेल
हाइलुरोनिक एसिड के साथ, जो अंदर से स्किन को 200% हाइड्रेट करे ताकि मिले वाटर फ्रेश ग्लो।
Miracles happen.
Once upon a time, in a land where magic and mortals coexisted, there lived a powerful yet misunderstood dark fairy named Maleficent. She dwelled in the mystical moors, a land brimming with enchanted creatures, shimmering waters, and ancient trees. Though feared by many, Maleficent was once a protector of the moors, a guardian of peace and magic. As a young fairy, Maleficent befriended a human boy named Stefan, who had wandered into the moors. Their bond grew deep, and she trusted him with the secrets of her land. But Stefan was ambitious and craved the wealth and power of the mortal kingdom. When the greedy king offered his throne to anyone who could defeat the dangerous fairy of the moors, Stefan betrayed Maleficent. He cut her majestic wings in an act of deceit, presenting them as proof of his victory. Heartbroken and consumed by anger, Maleficent's once kind heart turned cold. She swore to protect her land at all costs, using her immense powers to build a magical barrier around the moors, keeping humans away. Years later, Stefan, now king, celebrated the birth of his daughter. Aurora Maleficent, seeking revenge, arrived uninvited at the christening. She cast a curse upon the innocent child on her 16th birthday. Aurora would prick her finger on the spindle of a spinning wheel and fall into a deep eternal sleep. Only true love's kiss could break the spell. The curse was a reflection of Maleficent's belief that true love did not exist, for Stefan's betrayal had shattered her faith in it. Despite her hatred for Stefan, Maleficent secretly watched over Aurora as she grew. Hidden in the shadows, she saw the child's innocence and laughter bring light to even the darkest corners of the world. Aurora, unafraid of Maleficent, began to seek her out, calling her fairy godmother. Maleficent's heart, long buried under layers of anger, began to soften. By the time Aurora neared her 16th birthday, Maleficent tried to revoke the curse, but her magic was too strong. The curse was unbreakable. On Aurora's 16th birthday, she pricked her finger as foretold and fell into an enchanted sleep. Desperate, Maleficent brought Prince Philip, a kind and noble young man who had met Aurora, to the castle. He kissed Aurora, but nothing happened. In anguish, Maleficent approached the sleeping princess. With tears in her eyes, she whispered an apology for the pain she caused and kissed Aurora's forehead. In that moment, the pure, unconditional love Maleficent had for Aurora broke the curse. Aurora awoke in the true embrace. Maleficent and Aurora united the moors and the human kingdom, bringing peace to both lands. Maleficent's wings were restored, symbolizing the return of her true self. Though the dark fairy was feared, no longer she remained a guardian of the moors, reminding all that even the darkest hearts can find redemption in love and forgiveness. And so Maleficent's tale became one of hope, proving that even in a world of betrayal and sorrow, love could heal all wounds.
कदम कदम पर खिलती है कदम कदम पर सबसे Once upon a time, a couple wished for a child. The wife longed for some rampant type of vegetable belonging to a witch. The husband, desperate to fulfill her craving, sneaked into the garden to steal the rampant. However, the witch caught him and demanded that he give up the child they were expecting in exchange for his life. He reluctantly agreed. When the child, a girl, was born, the witch took her and named her Rapunzel. She locked Rapunzel in a tall tower with no door, only a window. The only way to enter the tower was by climbing Rapunzel's long, magical hair, which grew to incredible lengths. As Rapunzel grew, she became beautiful and kind. One day, a prince heard her singing and came to the tower. He discovered how to visit her by calling out to her and using her hair to climb. The two fell in love and planned to escape together. However, the witch found out about the prince and cut off Rapunzel's hair, banishing her to a desolate land. The prince, in despair, wandered through the wilderness until he eventually found Rapunzel again. In the end, Rapunzel and the prince were reunited, and she had twins. They lived happily ever after, free from the witch's control. The story of Rapunzel has been adapted in many forms over the years, including Disney's Tangled, which adds additional elements but keeps the core themes of love, freedom, and overcoming adversity. Child, a girl was born, the witch took her and named her Rapunzel. She locked Rapunzel in a tall tower with no door, only a window. The only way to enter the tower was by climbing Rapunzel's long, magical hair, which grew to incredible lengths. As Rapunzel grew, she became beautiful and kind. One day, a prince heard her singing and came to the tower. He discovered how to visit her by calling out to her and using her hair to climb. The two fell in love and planned to escape together. However, the witch found out about the prince and cut off Rapunzel's hair, banishing her to a desolate land. The prince, in despair, wandered through the wilderness until he eventually found Rapunzel again. In the end, Rapunzel and the prince were reunited, and she had twins. They lived happily ever after, free from the witch's control. Once upon a time, in a world where a magical forest sprawled across ancient lands, a lone dwarf named Braum made his living mining rare gems in the shadow of the forbidden woods. The woods were whispered to be home to Maleficent, the powerful and enigmatic sorceress who protected the forest with her magic. Braum had always steered clear of the woods, but fate had other plans. One day, as Braum dug deeper into the mountain, the earth trembled, causing a hidden passage to open. Curious and driven by the possibility of undiscovered treasures, Braum ventured inside. He stumbled upon a glowing green gemstone embedded in the heart of a tree's roots. As soon as he touched it, a surge of magic coursed through, and the air grew cold. A shadow fell over Braum, and when he turned, he found himself face to face with Maleficent. Her dark horns curled against the sky, and her piercing eyes glimmered with both menace and intrigue. "You have trespassed without a welcome," she said, her voice resonating like an ominous melody. "That gem belongs to the heart of this forest." Braum, though startled, summoned his courage. "I meant no harm, Lady Maleficent. I didn't know the stone was yours. It's beautiful." Her lips curled into a slight smile. "Flattery will not save you, little dwarf, but honesty might. What brings you so deep into these lands?" As Braum explained his lifelong dream to find a gem unlike any other one that could cement his legacy, Maleficent saw a spark of genuine passion in him. She decided not to punish him, but instead set a challenge. "If
If you truly seek greatness, she said, there is a gem far more extraordinary hidden deep within my woods. A gem that holds the essence of nature's magic. Retrieve it and you may keep it, but beware, for the path is fraught with trials. Brom, both thrilled and weary, accepted the challenge. Maleficent, intrigued by his determination, decided to accompany him. Together they ventured into the depths of the forbidden woods, encountering enchanted creatures, ancient puzzles, and tests of wit and courage. Through their journey, Brom's resilience and resourcefulness impressed Maleficent, while her wisdom and power left, and in awe they learned to rely on each other. Brom's strength balanced by Maleficent's magic. Along the way, Brom began to see Maleficent not as a fearsome sorceress, but as a protector of the forest, deeply connected to the land. In the final trial, Brom and Maleficent faced a guardian spirit who tested their unity. When they passed, the spirit revealed the magical gem, a radiant crystal that pulsed with the heartbeat of the forest. You have proven yourselves worthy, the spirit said. May this bond you share guide the future of these lands. Brom, humbled by the journey, offered the gem to Maleficent, recognizing its significance to her world. But Maleficent, touched by his gesture, allowed him to keep a fragment of it, a token of their adventure. From that day on, Brom and Maleficent formed an unlikely friendship. Brom returned to his mountain inspired to craft. Hurlet. From that day on, Brom and Maleficent formed an unlikely friendship. Brom returned to his mountain inspired to craft treasures that honored the beauty of the Forbidden Woods. Maleficent, meanwhile, found an ally who understood her purpose and respected the magic she guarded. And so the dwarf and the sorceress proved that even the most different of beings could find common ground and perhaps even friendship in the unlikeliest of places. Elephant Woods. From that day on, Brom and Maleficent formed an unlikely friendship. Brom returned to his mountain inspired to craft treasures that honored the beauty of the Forbidden Woods. Maleficent, meanwhile, found an ally who understood her purpose and respected the magic she guarded. And so the dwarf and the sorceress proved that even the most different of beings can find common ground and perhaps even friendship in the unlikeliest of places.
नया पॉन्ड्स लाइट मॉइस्चराइजर
with Ceramide Pro and Vitamin E.
बिना चिप सॉफ्ट स्किन.
High above the misty lakes and Mount Elder, a magnificent dragon named Serafino lived in her cavernous nest. Serafino was no ordinary dragon. Her scales shimmered like molten gold, and her fiery breath could light up the darkest of nights. But Serafina's proudest treasures weren't her glittering jewels or ancient scrolls. They were her 3 precious dragon eggs. One morning, as the sun rose over the mountains, Serafina awoke to a heart-stopping discovery. One of her eggs was missing. Her roar echoed through the valleys, a cry of anguish that sent every creature in the forest below scattering in fear. Desperate to find her egg, Serafina soared across the land, her sharp eyes scanning every corner. She visited her closest neighbors, the mountain griffins, and asked if they had seen anything suspicious, but the griffins only shook their heads. Determined, Serafina flew to the enchanted forest, where the wise old owl Eldwin resided. Eldwin had seen many things in his long life, and Serafina hoped he might offer a clue. Eldwin, she said, her voice trembling, one of my eggs has been taken. Have you seen anything usual? The owl blinked his ancient eyes. Indeed, I did see a shadowy figure carrying something precious through the forest last night. They headed toward the Whispering Caves. Without hesitation, Seraphina thanked Elblin and sped toward the Whispering Caves. The caves were dark and filled with treacherous traps, but Seraphina's motherly instinct guided her through at last. She found herself in a cavern lit by a strange flickering light. In the center of the room stood a cloaked figure cradling her egg. It was a sorcerer who had stolen the egg to harness its magical energy for his dark experiments. Release my egg! Seraphina roared, her golden scales glowing fiercely. The sorcerer sneered, this egg holds great power. Why should I return it to you? Summoning all her courage, Seraphina unleashed a burst of fiery breath, not to harm but to illuminate the cave with dazzling light. The brilliance revealed not only the sorcerer's greed, but also the fragile cracks forming on the egg due to his tampering. Realizing his mistake, the sorcerer dropped the egg and fled. Seraphina rushed to catch it, cradling it gently in her claws. As she carried it back to her nest, the egg began to glow softly, and Seraphina knew her baby dragon inside was still safe. Back in her nest, Seraphina carefully placed the egg alongside its siblings, vowing never to let her guard down again. When the eggs finally hatched weeks later, Seraphina's heart swelled with pride as 3 tiny dragons looked up at her, their eyes filled with trust and love. And from that day on, the story of Seraphina and her missing egg was told across the land, a tale of bravery, love, and the fierce protection of a dragon mother.
I recommend new Sensodyne Pro Enamel Kits, जो डेंटल एक्सपर्ट्स ने खास बच्चों के लिए तैयार किया है।
Once upon a time, in a kingdom divided by light and shadow, there lived a powerful sorceress named Maleficent. She was neither entirely villainous nor wholly virtuous, but walked a path shaped by betrayal, love, and purpose. Born of magic, Maleficent was the guardian of the Dark Woods, a mysterious and an enchanting forest teeming with ancient secrets and creatures untamed by human hands. She wielded power beyond comprehension. Her magic rooted in the earth, the sky, and the stars. But Maleficent's story truly began when the kingdom's ruler, King Aldrin, sought to expand his empire. The Dark Woods stood in his way, and its magic was both a threat and a prize he yearned to control Aldrin. Once a friend of Maleficent's in their youth approached her not with peace, but with deceit. He pretended to seek an alliance while plotting her downfall. A grand feast was held in the castle to honor the so-called alliance. During this celebration, Aldrin's knights ambushed Maleficent, attempting to sever her bond to the Dark Woods by stealing her enchanted staff. She fought valiantly but was outnumbered in the chaos. Her staff was broken, and she retreated to the woods, gravely injured and betrayed. Racked with pain and rage, Maleficent swore vengeance. She wove a powerful curse that spread through the land. On the ruler's bloodline shall fall a shadow. No heir will sit upon the throne without knowing the price of betrayal. Years later, Princess Alara, King Aldrin's daughter, was born despite her father's sin. She was kind-hearted and curious, often wandering to the edge of the Dark Woods to glimpse the mysterious world within. On her 16th birthday, the curse took hold. A shard of Maleficent's broken staff, hidden within a spindle, pricked Alara's finger. She fell into an enchanted slumber, her fate tied to the magic of the woods. Hearing of the princess's plight, Maleficent approached the castle, not to gloat, but to offer a bargain. She would awaken Alara if the king relinquished his claim to the Dark Woods and restored its broken harmony. Desperate, Aldrin agreed, but was heart burned with resentment. Maleficent awakened the princess, but what she didn't expect was Alara's gratitude. Unlike her father, Alara saw the sorceress as a guardian, not a monster. She returned to the woods with Maleficent, learning its secrets and helping to heal the damage caused by her father's greed. In time, Alara became queen, ruling with wisdom and compassion. She and Maleficent forged an alliance that united the kingdom and the Dark Woods, ensuring a balance between humanity and nature. Maleficent, once feared and misunderstood, became a legend, a reminder that light and darkness exist in all, and that even the most broken souls can find purpose and redemption. Approached her not with peace. In time, Alara became queen, and with wisdom and compassion, she ensuring a balance between humanity and nature. Maleficent, once feared and misunderstood, became a legend, a reminder that light and darkness exist in all, and that even the most broken souls can find purpose and redemption.
चाहे चाहिए कौन सी जना
Years after restoring the heart of Te Fiti, Moana has become the respected chief of Motunui. She has led her people back to their voyaging roots, exploring distant islands and uncharted waters. One day an elder tells her of a mysterious place called the Lost Ocean, a mythical realm said to hold secrets of their ancestors. However, a fierce guardian known as Tangaroa, the spirit of the deep, is said to protect the realm, keeping it hidden from mortal eyes. Curious and determined to uncover the truth, Moana set sail with her loyal Big Blue, the rooster Hai and a crew of young explorers. Along the way, she encounters Maui, who has been living in solitude, reflecting on his past mistakes. After some convincing and playful bickering, Maui agrees to join her quest. A storm of living waves, Tangara tests their resolve by sending giant waves that seem to have minds of their own. A forest of floating islands, they must navigate through islands tethered by massive vines, where creatures never seen before roam. A sea of memories, Moana is confronted with visions of her ancestors, learning about their bravery and sacrifices. When they finally reach the Lost Ocean, Tangaro appears as a towering, shape-shifting water spirit. He challenges Moana, questioning her motives. Why do mortals always take without thought of giving back? Moana passionately argues that her people seek connection, not conquest, and promises to protect the ocean's gifts. To prove her worth, Tangara sets a final trial. Moana must find the Echo Pearl, hidden deep within the ocean's heart. Alongside Maui, she dives into the abyss, confronting shadowy creatures and her deepest fears. Maui sacrifices his magical fish hook to save Moana during their escape, proving he too has grown. Moana retrieves the Echo Pearl and offers it to Tangaroa, showing her respect and humility. Moved by her courage and sincerity, Tangaroa reveals the Lost Ocean to be a sanctuary of endangered marine life. He entrusts Moana with its secret, warning her to protect it from human greed. Returning to Motunui, Moana shares her tale and establishes a pact among the islands to preserve the ocean's wonders. Maui, though without his fish hook, finds purpose as a protector of the seas. Moana, now a true in a distant land where magic flowed like rivers and creatures of myth roamed free,
Maleficent was not just a fairy, she was once the heir to the throne of the Moors, queen of the magical realm. Long before humans came to the edge of the moors, it was foretold that a fairy of immense power, marked by great wings and horns of onyx, would rule the realm. But such power would come with a warning. The strongest heart, when touched by betrayal, shall cast a shadow upon the land. The fairy council watched Maleficent grow into a graceful protector with wings that could darken the sun, and magic that could make forests bloom. The creatures of the moors adored her, yet her heart remained curious about the world beyond the borders. One day, while flying to the edges of the moors, Maleficent encountered a human knight named Eldrin. Lost in the enchanted woods, unlike most humans, he spoke with kindness and admiration for the realm's wonders. Over time he visited, often bringing stories of his kingdom. But against the warnings of the council, Maleficent's heart grew fond of him. But Eldrin had a secret. He was not a knight, but the prince of the Iron Dominion, a kingdom desperate to conquer the Moors for its magic. Eldrin's father, the king, learned of Maleficent's trust and crafted a cruel plan. On the eve of her coronation, Eldrin betrayed her. He stole her crown of wildfire, an ancient relic that tied her power to the Moors, and shattered her wings with iron chains. The realm trembled as Maleficent fell, her cries echoing through the mountains. The once thriving Moors began to wilt, and the prophecy came true. Her betrayed heart cast darkness over the land. Maleficent survived, but she was no longer the radiant protector. She forged a dark crown from thorns and flame, embracing her sorrow. Her magic grew darker, and the creatures of the Moors feared what she had become, the Shadow Queen. She cursed the Iron Dominion, so no heir could hold the throne without falling into madness. Yet despite her vengeance, her heart ached for the Moors, for what had been lost. Years later, a child wandered into the Moors. A girl named Lyra, carrying a flower untouched by Maleficent's shadow. Lyra spoke gently to the creatures and grew gardens with a touch, reminding Maleficent of herself before the betrayal's bloodline. Lyra was Eldrin's daughter, abandoned by a kingdom cursed and crumbling. Maleficent was torn between hatred for the child's bloodline and the innocence.
Once upon a time in the forest so green, Thistle the rabbit with eyes so keen raced the wind through fields of gold, adventures to seek, stories untold. Sparkling streams would call his name, rolling hills his favorite game. Clever and quick he leaped so high, touched the clouds, kissed the sky. Thistle, thistle, where do you roam? In the lush sunlit forest your home, catching dreams with every stride, with a heart full of wonder and pride. One fine day he met a fox with cunning eyes and silver locks. Together they ran through the glades, hand in paw, no plans, just a pace. nighttime fade, newfound friends in twilight shade. Through shadows deep they find their way. In the magical night they play. Thistle, thistle, where do you roam? In the lush sunlit forest your home. Catching dreams with every stride, with a heart full of wonder and pride.
Get your Rose ka dose.
CSC 1000 Plus. Give your best her rose.
In a kingdom divided by magic and man, there lay an enchanted forest known as the Moors, a place where magical creatures thrived in harmony. Among them lived Maleficent, a powerful fairy with horns like an ancient crown and wings as wide as the sky. She was the protector of the Moors, fierce yet just and beloved by her kin. Maleficent grew up watching over her magical homeland, her heart pure and her laughter bright. One day she saved a lost human boy, Siren, who had wandered into the Moors. Though humans were often feared, she took pity on him. As the years passed, their friendship blossomed into something deeper. But the human kingdom was fraught with ambition. Siren's family wanted power over the Moors, believing the forest's magic could bring them wealth and strength. Torn between love and duty, Siren betrayed Maleficent by stealing the Jewel of Light, a crystal that sustained the magic of the Moors. Heartbroken and enraged by Siren's betrayal, Maleficent's sorrow transformed her. She cursed the skies above the Moors to grow dark. Her wings grew heavier with the weight of her grief, and her once kind heart hardened. She became the Dark Protector, vowing to defend her land from all humans. Word of Maleficent's power spread to the human kingdom, now ruled by King Siren. Desperate to secure his throne, Siren ordered his men to burn the Moors. In retaliation, Maleficent cast a curse upon Siren's newborn daughter, Princess Ilara. The child would grow to her 18th birthday untouched by harm. But on that day, she would prick her finger on a thorn and fall into an eternal sleep, broken only by the truest love. As Ilara grew, she was hidden away in a cottage near the moors, watched over by 3 bumbling but kind forest sprites. Maleficent, curious about the child she had cursed, often watched from afar. Despite her intentions, she found herself protecting Ilara from dangers and whispering to her in dreams. Over time, Maleficent's hardened heart began to thaw. She saw in Ilara a light she thought lost a spark of hope. Maleficent realized her curse was not a reflection of Ilara's innocence, but of her own pain. On Ilara's 18th birthday, she ventured into the moors, drawn by whispers of the fairy who had watched over her. Maleficent revealed herself, confessing her curse and her regret. But before Maleficent could undo the spell, a thorn from a cursed rose pricked Ilara's finger, and she fell into a deep sleep. Maleficent, desperate to save her, sought a way to break the curse. The kingdom's knights, led by King Siren, marched into the moors to take Ilara back. A fierce battle ensued, with Maleficent confronting Kirin. In their clash, he admitted his guilt and begged forgiveness, but it was too late to mend the past. Maleficent returned to Ilara's side, her sorrow unending. She kissed Ilara's brow and whispered, "You are more than my curse, you are my hope." At that moment, Ilara awoke. The true love that broke the curse was not romantic, but the bond forged between them. Ilara now.
He's the
between the humans and the moors. She restored the jewel of light, and the skies above the moors brightened once more. Maleficent no longer the dark protector became the guardian of balance, her heart whole once again. Under the watchful eyes of Maleficent, the Moors and the human kingdom prospered, united by trust and love. And so the tale of Maleficent, the dark fairy with a heart of light, became a legend of redemption and forgiveness. Peace between the humans and the Moors. She restored the jewel of light, and the skies above the moors brightened once more. Maleficent no longer the dark protector became the guardian of balance, her heart whole once again. Under the watchful eyes of Maleficent, the Moors and the human kingdom prospered, united by trust and love. And so the tale of Maleficent, the dark fairy with a heart of light, became a legend of redemption and forgiveness. Under the watchful eyes of Maleficent, the Moors and the human kingdom prospered, united by trust and love. And so the tale of Maleficent, the dark fairy with a heart of light, became a legend of redemption and forgiveness. Under the watchful eyes of Maleficent, the Moors and the human kingdom prospered, united by trust and love. And so the tale of Maleficent, the dark fairy with a heart of light, became a legend of redemption and forgiveness. Unforgiveness became a legend of redemption and forgiveness. Once upon a time, in a quiet village nestled at the edge of a grand, enchanted forest, there lived a peculiar dwarf named Thimble. Unlike other dwarfs, who busied themselves with mining gems or crafting fine tools, Thimble was a dreamer. His heart belonged to the stars above, and every night, he would climb to the highest hill to watch them sparkle like diamonds in the sky. One fateful evening, as Thimble sat on his hill, he noticed something extraordinary, a shooting star that didn't fade. Instead, it fell closer and closer, until it landed in the heart of the forest. A brilliant golden glow lit up the trees. Without hesitation, Thimble grabbed his lantern and hurried toward the light. Deep within the woods, he discovered a crater, and inside was a peculiar object, a golden crystal that pulsed with an otherworldly energy. As Thimble reached out to touch it, a voice whispered, "Help me." Startled, Thimble looked around, but saw no one. The voice spoke again, soft and pleading, "I'm trapped. The crystal holds the key." Determined to help, Thimble took the crystal back to his tiny cottage. Over the next few days, he sought guidance from the wise old dwarf Eldrick, who explained that the crystal was a fragment of a fallen star. Within it was a star keeper, a celestial being whose duty was to light the skies. To free the Star Keeper, Eldrick said gravely, "You must journey to the peak of Mount Luminera, where the light of the first sunrise can break the crystal's hold. But beware, the shadows of the forest will try to stop you." Thimble knew the journey would be dangerous, but his heart swelled with courage. He packed his satchel with supplies, including his trusted pickaxe and a few shimmering gemstones for good luck, and set out. The forest was alive with magic, twisting roots trying to trip him, and whispering shadows trying to lead him astray. But Thimble's determination was unshakable. A Along the way, he befriended a mischievous talking squirrel named Pippin and a timid fox with glowing eyes who helped him navigate the forest's perils. Finally, after days of travel, they reached Mount Luminara. The climb was grueling, but at dawn, Thimble stood at the summit, holding the golden crystal high. As the first rays of sunlight kissed the crystal, it shattered into a million tiny sparks. From the light emerged a radiant figure, the Star Keeper. She smiled at Thimble and said, "Your kindness and bravery have restored me. For that, the stars will forever shine brightly in your honor." She touched Thimble's pickaxe, transforming it into a staff that glowed with celestial light. With a wave of her hand, she returned to the heavens, leaving Thimble with a sense of wonder and purpose. From that day on, Thimble became the guardian of the forest, using his magical staff to protect its creatures and keep its magic alive. And every night, as he gazed at the stars, he saw one that twinkled a little brighter, a reminder of his incredible journey and a friend. And so, Thimble's tale became legend, whispered by the wind and sung by the trees, a story of courage, kindness, and the magic of the stars. Holding the golden crystal high. Holding the golden crystal high.
Snow White. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there lived a kind and beautiful princess named Snow White. Her skin was as white as snow, her lips as red as blood, and her hair as black as ebony. Sadly, her mother died when she was young, and her father remarried a vain and wicked queen. The queen owned a magical mirror, and every day she would ask it, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" The mirror would reply, "You, my queen, are the fairest of them all." But as Snow White grew older, her beauty surpassed that of the queen. One day the mirror declared, "Snow White is the fairest of them all." Consumed with jealousy, the queen ordered a huntsman to take Snow White into the forest and kill her. The huntsman, moved by Snow White's innocence, could not bring himself to harm her. Instead, he let her go and told her to run far away. Snow White fled deep into the forest, where she found a tiny cottage belonging to 7 dwarfs. The kind-hearted dwarfs welcomed her and let her stay in their home in exchange for her help with cooking and cleaning. Meanwhile, the queen discovered Snow White was still alive. Using dark magic, she disguised herself as an old peddler and visited the dwarf's cottage. She offered Snow White a poisoned apple. One bite cost Snow White into a deep, death-like sleep. The dwarfs, heartbroken, placed Snow White in a glass coffin in the forest. One day a prince who had heard tales of her beauty stumbled upon her, moved by her lifelike appearance. He kissed her, the spell broke, and Snow White woke up. The prince and Snow White fell in love and returned to his kingdom where they were married. As for the wicked queen, she met her downfall and was never seen. Yet Snow White and the prince lived happily ever after.
Once upon a time, in a kingdom where the sky always shimmered with the colors of dawn, there was a young girl named Alara who lived in a quiet village by the edge of an enchanted forest. The villagers spoke often of the magic hidden deep within the woods, a magic older than the stars themselves, said to be woven into the very fabric of nature. Alara, unlike most of the villagers, had always felt a strange pull toward the forest. She had heard the whispers of the wind, the songs of the birds, and the rustling of the leaves as if they were calling to her. One day, she could no longer resist the call. With a heart full of curiosity and courage, she ventured into the heart of the enchanted forest. As she walked deeper into the woods, the trees seemed to grow taller, and their branches interlocked above her, casting strange, shivering shadows. The air was thick with magic, and every step she took seemed to stir the world around her. Flowers bloomed in her wake, and the animals watched her with knowing eyes, as if they had been expecting her. After a long journey, Alara came to a clearing where a crystal-clear pond lay nestled between towering stones. In the center of the pond stood a magnificent, glowing tree, its bark shimmering with silver and gold, its leaves turning in the breeze like 1,000 tiny flames. Alara knew instantly that this tree was the source of the magic that kept the forest alive. As she approached the tree, a voice soft as the rustling leaves spoke from its branches. "Why do you seek me, child of the village?" Alara knelt by the pond, her heart racing. "I have always felt the magic in the forest. I want to understand it, to protect it." The tree's leaves shimmered brighter, and the voice spoke again. "You are the one who is meant to protect the balance of the magic. For centuries, the magic has been nurtured by those who are pure of heart, but it has grown weak. Only one with true kindness and courage can restore it." With a wave of its branches, the tree sent a beam of light down to Alara. It touched her forehead, and suddenly her senses were heightened. She could feel the pulse of the earth, hear the hum of the stars, and understand the language of every creature in the forest. The magic flowed through her veins, and she knew that she had been chosen to guard the enchanted forest. From that day on, Alara became the keeper of the magic. She visited the tree often, learning its secrets and spreading its wisdom throughout the land. She healed sick animals, helped the crops grow, and ensured that the balance of magic and nature was preserved. As the years passed, the kingdom flourished, and the villagers came to understand the importance of respecting the magic of the world around them. And though Alara never left the forest, her presence was felt everywhere. For the magic she protected was a living force, weaving through the lives of all who lived in harmony with nature. And so, the enchanted forest thrives, its magic stronger than ever, guarded by the pure-hearted girl who had once answered its call. And they all lived, as they always had, in a world of wonder and quiet enchantment. hear the hum of the stars. I want to understand it, to protect it by those who admire it, by those who are pure of heart. But it has grown weak. Only one with true kindness and courage can restore it. With a wave of its branches, the tree sent a beam of light down to Alara. It touched her forehead, and suddenly, her senses were heightened. She could feel the pulse of the earth, hear the hum of the stars, and understand the language of every creature in the forest. The magic flowed through her veins.
I just feel alive.
रोटी नहीं खाई मैंने रोटी दे दो
चाहिए